jaw-dropping moment because whatever I say about Mr. Kamat is not going to be enough. He is synonymous with, the Kamat family is synonymous with hospitality, as you all know. And with a professional journey that is well over a decade, he's also All India National Council's gold medalist and topper in hospitality. So that's a huge applause moment. Wow. Okay, so Vikram, I don't know whether we should call you Mr. Kamat or we can call you Vikram. Vikram launched the successful full-service business hotel brand Vits at an early age of 22. But you look 16, sir. Huh? And he's taken Vits to an international level. He's played a pivotal role in achieving several milestones at Vitskamats Group over the last decade. And the chain is, as you know, famous for its food, so they're called the food people. He's observed the gap. You know, this is great because, you know, an entrepreneur always sees an opportunity where there is need. And they have seen a gap in the demand and supply for business hotels in tier 2 cities, three-tier cities, which led to the introduction of the group's first ever budget business hotels, Purple Beds by Vits. Purple Beds, wow. Green, pink, no, we don't know. We're going to stick to purple, right? Right, done. We're not, Vikram, we're not going to argue with you because you've got the formula right, okay? So the group is widely known for its chain of vegetarian highway restaurants under the brand Kamats. Vikram has established the chain further by making it the largest only vegetarian chain to be belisted on the BSE. What does BSE stand for?
Bombay Stock Exchange.
Bombay Stock, sorry, I'm a Buddhu, no? So the renewed focus led to foray into varied standalone cuisine restaurants through 4 brands, Urban Dhaba, Pepper Fry, Wah Malwan, Pepper Fry with Urban Dhaba, receiving coveted awards from all over the place. He's been instrumental in the family's venture of establishing India's first eco chain of 5-star hotels, Orchid. My God, when do you sleep? Jesus. My God, I'm getting tired reading this. Orchid and expansion to over 1,000 rooms in Mumbai and other cities with numerous patents, awards, prizes, and recognitions over the years. Vikram has established himself as an entrepreneur, hotelier, and he's even written 8 books. Sir, aap khate kya ho bhai? Idli dosa. So huge round of applause for this brilliant man, and spotlight is yours. Here we are. Thank you.
Thank you for that introduction and the excitement.
8 books. Oh my God.
I'm honored to speak here, not only at this wonderful enclave, but I'm also honored because it feels great as a man to be among so many beautiful women. So, many of you all are entrepreneurs here, and I just want to first check how many of you all are, doing your own business. Most of you are entrepreneurs, but how many of you all have 1 to 5 employees or 1 to 5 team members? Great. How many of you all have 5 or 10 employees? Anybody having more than 10 employees? Okay, so we've got a couple as well. I think what drives leadership and entrepreneurship is what I'm going to be talking here today. Already I've got a wonderful introduction, so you understand I'm familiar with leadership. I may not know all of it. Like you, I'm also on a journey. Everybody is on a journey, as you heard from Deloitte itself, that everybody has the same problems. It's just the nature and the magnitude of the problems that's different. We also have problem retaining talent. You all also have problem retaining talent. The difference is in the number of zeros behind the people that we have a problem retaining. So Mark Twain said that ignorance and confidence will get you to high places, correct? And I think that's very true for entrepreneurs, because many times you have to be brutally confident and many times you have to be ignorant and just go ahead and do it. And I often relate entrepreneurship with a kind of a sannyas. It's a sannyas because, like a sannyasi, many times you have to be alone in all the things you're doing, in many of the decisions that you take, and you walk that path always alone. And just like a sannyasi, until you reach enlightenment, you're living off other people's money. Either your friends, your family, your bankers, or if you're very lucky, you'll be living off some investor. So, entrepreneurship is a road that's not really made for everyone. But if you follow certain simple principles, it becomes very easy. But these simple principles are simple to hear, but much more difficult to digest, much more difficult to understand, and much more difficult to implement in your day-to-day. The three things that any entrepreneur really needs, that any true leader really needs, is dreams, people, and culture. They say that great businesses are businesses which fulfill people's dreams, your customers' dreams, and great businesses are those which fulfill your team members' dreams, your employees' dreams. Great businesses should answer the question that people often ask, I wish I could. For example, if I were to tell you, I wish I could have my favorite restaurant's food at home. Immediately, you know which brand or which company I'm talking about. Or if somebody says, I wish I could book a cab without having to wait. Again, immediately. So great companies are those which fulfill the dreams, the wishes that people are thinking in their mind all the time. And similarly, great businesses are those which fulfill the dreams of their people as well. Because people also have dreams. People have aspirations. They are not so keen on your company unless your company helps fulfill their own dreams and aspirations. And we heard that already about how the generation shift right from the industrial age to now the social age has changed people's aspirations. Earlier people had no option, so they stuck around. Today people have only options, so they don't need to stick around. So what dreams can you fulfill if you're looking to retain talent? Talent engagement and talent retention is the number one problem that every company has. And we as entrepreneurs are not spending enough time doing the most important thing, because suddenly being busy, being on the computer, acting busy has become so fashionable that as entrepreneurs you should be doing the most important thing, and which is taking time to think. We are not taking out time to think. The most important thing that you as entrepreneurs should always remember is it's your ability, and I don't remember who mentioned it just before, but it's your ability to see what others cannot see. The best example I can give you is of Newton. Newton in 1700 was sitting under an apple tree and an apple fell in front of him. That apple must have fallen in front of thousands of other people in hundreds of different countries for over 2,000 years, but nobody actually thought, why does this apple fall? But he was the only one that thought that, why is this falling? While every other person accepted that this is the way the world is. ये ऐसे ही होता है, apple गिरते ही है, तो क्या उड़ेगा? But he found out, or he inquired, why? Just like that, you as an entrepreneur need to always keep asking questions. Never accept the status quo. And keep focusing on dreams, people, and culture. Sapne, log, and sanskar. I already mentioned to you about the dreams, and those dreams need to be fulfilled of people, and the most important thing that you need in your business is people. Every problem that you're facing right now, whether it's 0 employees or 1 employee or 5 employees or 500 employees or 5,000 employees or I hope 5 lakh employees one day for you, is always going to be a people problem. Either you've got the right people in the wrong job or you've got the wrong people doing the wrong job. Either ways, your problems will only be solved when you have the right people doing the right jobs. When your people cannot solve your problems, that's when they come to you and those become your problems, and that's why you get stressed in business. If you're stressed in business, it's not the business that has a problem, it's your people that are the problem. So you need to find out, how can I enhance the level of my talent, or how can I find out the right talent that can solve my problems? But people will not be enough, because people are responsible for 2 most important things, and they are like 2 chariots of the wheel, and that is, one is finance and the other is HR. People think that finance and HR are 2 departments and these 2 things are, that department's job. But no, I firmly believe, and I've ensured, that finance and HR is everybody's job. Everybody in your company or organization should be thinking about, where can we save money? And everybody in the organization should be thinking about, where can we make money? This is not the job of finance, this is not the job of the boss, but this is the job of everybody. And similarly, HR, which everybody thinks hiring, recruitment, training is somebody else's job. No, it's not. HR, that is not human resources, but human relations is everybody's job. Because if somebody is hiring somebody, In big organizations, you have a department. In smaller teams, it might be you who's hiring somebody, but if the team troubles him, irritates him, or doesn't train him well, he's bound to leave. So HR also is everybody's job. But you can only make sure that finance and HR is done by everybody when you will focus on the third thing of dreams, people, culture, and that is culture. If you really want to build an amazing organization, a truly leadership-driven organization where everybody's a leader, and we have this perception that every great company must be big. That's absolutely wrong. You can have a great company, you can have a worldwide company, you can have one of the top best companies, all with small teams. Today you no longer need to have a workforce like earlier you did when they were making actual machinery. Today, small is really beautiful, much more than big. And to do the 7 Bs, and which are the 7 Bs? 7 Bs meaning the 7 behaviors of leadership. I say behaviors because we cannot pry into anybody's mind. We cannot we cannot understand what they are thinking. But through their actions, because actions are a result of thought, and behavior is a result of repeated action, we can find out what their real thought process is. And to be a true leader, you need all 7 Bs. The first B is, of course, the first behavior is positive mental attitude. Like the parachute, your mind must be open. If you keep your mind closed, you're not going to reach anywhere in life, neither is your team. So as a true leader, the first thing is to have PMA, a positive mental attitude. Even at our homes, I often struggle when the remote, one battery is old and the other battery is new. One battery is dead, the other battery is of no use. So like that only in your team. If one person is also negative, then everybody around is going to become negative. Nobody wants to work in a negative environment. Even in maths, if you multiply one negative with 100 or even 1,000 positives, the result is still going to be negative. So the first thing is you need to create a positive environment where people can function. That is the foundation of a leadership environment, which will lead us to the second B, and that is taking initiative and responsibility. The true hallmark of leadership is initiative and responsibility. Everybody wants somebody who will do more than they are paid for. Are you doing more? When you will start taking initiative, when your people will start taking initiative, that's when they'll truly go ahead. We need to make an environment where people get rewarded for doing more. In India, there's a culture, साहब आएंगे तो बताएंगे, साहब बोलेंगे क्या करना है, या in your cases, madam बताएंगे क्या करना है, madam जब आएंगे तब देखेंगे. Because in India for so many years, we've always had a top-down hierarchical approach. The only question that we ask is, तुमको किसने बोला करने के लिए? The question we should actually be asking is, तुमने नया क्या किया और क्या कर सकते हो? With this and this kind of environment is when people will truly flourish and not be afraid. Which leads us to the second B, which is believing in systems and processes. Whether you're a one-person company or whether you're an organization with thousands of employees, you need to have people, and you yourself should be a person who believes in systems and processes. If you don't believe, or your people don't believe in systems and processes, you believe in one-man show, you'll never go far ahead. You'll never be a true leadership-driven organization or a true leadership person. Systems and processes are the most important thing. I wish to ask you, does everybody know when something is a system? Anybody? We all know it's systematic, lag raha hai, yahan system se kaam chal raha hai. I think, yes. Fantastic. You know, madam, you're the first person ever to get it so right. We should give her a round of applause. On a side note, we have like whenever I question anybody, I have one or two of my team members here. So how do I motivate my team? How do I pinch them, but not so hard that they leave? Yet they feel the pinch and they realize, this is something you've got to do. So anybody senior can question anybody junior on certain things in our organization, which is vision, mission, parts of a system, and the 7 Bs. This can be asked by any senior to any junior. Okay, so something like school where you have a privilege of being senior. Okay? And if you don't know the answer to, and you see it's an open book question, you should know this if you're working in the company. If you don't know this, you have to buy Cadbury silk for the whole office. Now Cadbury silk is not cheap. And not, okay, you don't have to buy the whole slab for each person, one piece for everybody. But trust me, it's 1,000 rupees for that person who doesn't know the answer. Because they need 4 or 5 Cadbury silks. So, in a gentle way, that what they should know. And the pleasure that everybody has, Are yaar, aaj to chocolate or we meetha aa gaya. You know, when they pull that person's leg who doesn't know that answer, that person is burning the midnight oil to make sure next time I'm not going to get caught. So you have to come out with innovative ways to manage your people, to make sure you meet your agenda as well as theirs. Similarly, when it comes when it comes to initiative and responsibility, we have a program called Sadak Chalak Malak, which means Sadak means student, Chalak means manager, and Malak means owner. To meet the dreams of the people there, everybody who joins us wants that, sir, mera bhi ek restaurant, mera bhi khud ka hona chahiye. And why would I want my best talent? Because today is not today is not the age and day of competition. Today is the day and age of cooperation. So I want to have my best people working for me, but I know he's not going to stay with me because he's so talented. So what do? We have this program, Sadak Chalak Malak, where we provide him a restaurant, a Kamat's restaurant or a Malvan or a Urban Dhaba, one of our brands, where he still becomes an owner and he gets to keep the profits, pays the company his royalty, and he's also becoming an owner without much investment or practically no investment. So that way I retain my talent with me, and instead of my best guy working right opposite me or setting up shop right opposite me, he's working for me and for himself, most importantly. So it's a win-win. You have to come out with innovative solutions today to retain and engage your employees in a way that they're working in alignment with you. So I told you about the third B, that is initiative and responsibility, systems and processes. So let me tell you part of the system. Madam was the first person, after so many questions in so many years, I deserve to buy her a silk. Yeah? I will, madam, I will. So the 3 parts of a system are, the first is that it should be a series of simple steps. Anything you want to make into a system, it should be a series of simple steps. The second thing is, anybody should be able to do it. Anybody. And the third thing is, the result should be consistent. So these are the 3 parts of a system. And people, whenever you implement anything in your organization, you should always keep these 3 things in mind. Is it easy, simple? Is it a series of simple steps? Can anybody do it, and would the result be same? If you keep doing this in everything you're doing, because a lot of entrepreneurs where you are, after a particular stage, because for so long you would be doing the work, you would be doing it all by yourself, that when somebody else does it, you no, aise nahi karna hai, ya waise nahi karna hai, tumko samajh mein nahi aata hai, because you have not made a system. There's no written down series of steps. Anybody cannot do it, only you can do it, and that's why it's not a system. So if you want to move ahead and not get frustrated in work, which often gets, you have to make sure you create a system. And find people that believe in systems and processes. We are so often finding that star performer who feels that, oh, company mere ya, sab mere wajah se chal raha hai, who wants to break all systems. I hope I'm on time. Because everybody's been watching you more than the audience, so till now. So make a system, make a process, and that's how you'll go ahead. And that leads us to the 4th B, which is taking decisions. People are paralyzed all the time. People are so scared of taking decisions कि यार गलत निकला तो मेरे ऊपर आ जाएगा. So people don't want to take any decisions. But if at every level they're not taking decisions, then your organization will fail. If they're calling you all the time, when do you have time to do your work? So you need to encourage people to take decisions. Sure, they'll make mistakes. I'm sure you also made mistakes, because I have made many mistakes. Otherwise, I wouldn't have reached here. Anybody that's reached the top will tell you that they've made many mistakes, and they've failed umpteen number of times. But because we've tried so many times, we might have failed many times, but we've also succeeded far often. And good decisions, the ability to make good decisions, comes from the experience and lessons of having made many bad decisions. So you need to let people take small decisions, and that's when they'll mature enough to take bigger decisions. That takes us to the fifth B, which is being able to execute and deliver as committed. Your team needs to trust you. Your team needs to be able to have confidence in you. When you say something, your word should be your bond. Because that's the only way your team is going to believe in you. Many people think that, अरे यार अभी जो उनको सुनना है सुना के ले लो, बाद में देख लेंगे, याद किसको रहता है. But remember, they remember. Everything that's important to you, you'll always remember. So when you make commitments to your team, when you make commitments to your outside vendors, suppliers, or other team members, or other partners that you're looking to engage with, please make sure you keep your commitment and you execute as you promised. So the fifth B is behavior is to execute and commit and deliver as committed. The sixth B, probably the most important thing, is your ability to create more leaders. If you cannot create a carbon copy of yourself, at least 85% carbon copy of yourself, you don't deserve to be a leader. A leader is only one who can create multiple copies of himself, and that person should also keep copies of themselves. That's when the organization will grow. When we hire people, we tell them, you know what, you want to get promoted, you have to build your team under you. Because unless you can create your own copy, unless you can make sure that somebody knows and does exactly what you are doing, you can't get promoted. And the easiest way to do that, and a simple technique for all you entrepreneurs here, is to create a checklist. Make a daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annual checklist. What are you doing daily? What are you doing weekly? What are you doing weekly, monthly, quarterly? And that's all. Once you have that written, or any of your team members, whatever work they're doing, great. We've got already here, I'm sure Chaitali ma'am must be doing it, because that's how she's able to organize so many things, correct? So a simple checklist is all you need. And the seventh and most, and the last is to be able to give and take feedback. Good leaders are able to give and take feedback. So many of us, when it comes to money, we are good at taking money, but not giving it. But when it comes to feedback, it's the opposite. We are good at giving gyan, telling, oh, tum aisa karna chahiye, tumhare se ye nahi hota hai, wo nahi hota hai. But when somebody tells us, this is where we are lacking, or this is what we can do better, we don't take it positively. So as a true leader, you need to have the ability to give and take feedback. I'm sure if you follow all of these 7 Bs as part of your culture, and if you focus on dreams, people, and culture, I'm sure you all will all find that next time this room will be filled with multi organizations and HODs of so many of your team members. I'd like to end again with Mark Twain's quote that every day, especially in India, every day, lakhs of entrepreneurs are going undiscovered. Every day, lakhs of entrepreneurs are going undiscovered, either by themselves or by others. I'm sure after today, at least you won't be undiscovered by yourself. Great. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Was that wow? Woo! Vikram, we're not letting you go. Author of 8 Hotelia, Purple Rooms, Purple Hotel, my God. I was trying to list everything, I ran out of paper. So we just want you on stage. We're not going to let you go that easily. And Mr. Manik, we'd love you to do the honors. Please come and felicitate this wonderful young entrepreneur.
I have something to say.
Yes.
I want Nandita Puri also on stage. She is our V's committee member. Okay, advisory board.
Okay.
And Sharon as well, she is also our advisory board. I need you both to be here.
And just to say, you really spoke like a great leader. I mean, today, great leaders and CEOs definitely understand the importance of culture, people, and dreams of vision, as we say. And you really, I think, just inspired all of us out here. So thank you so much. Thank you.
No, we'd love you to do it.
Thank you so much. Come here.
Thank you so much. I'm really, Vikram, I mean, my senses are reeling. But the question that I want to ask myself after all this, because Vikram has fine-tuned the elements. I mean, he's literally created a literal blueprint for anybody who dares to dream to deliver. And he's also told us how a dream needs a goal, it needs a deadline, it needs, and the biggest thing that you said, Vikram, is that give. I'm sure that is why you and your family are so blessed, because there's so much giving interwoven in your system. And I think while this wonderful young entrepreneur and the owner of this magnificent property is on stage with us, I think the question we need to ask ourselves, barring of course that systems are obsolete, what was there 10 years ago, 5 years ago, do we run the day or does the day run us? Just because you're busy doesn't mean you've got a life. So plan your day, time. I mean, he's achieved so much. The other day I was in Bhubaneswar speaking to students, and I said, did you have a good night's sleep? And they all put their hands up. I scared them, I didn't mean to. I said, you shouldn't be sleeping at night. Your dreams should be keeping you awake. And I believe that. Even at my age, I still don't sleep well because I still want to do that, and I want to do that, and I want to do this. And there is so much fun in dreaming. But obviously, as Vikram has shown us, a dream is excellent, but you need to have a goal, you need to have a deadline, you need to have an action plan, and you need to have the right people. And we have learned so much from you. Honestly, I could write your 9th book. I'll be your ghostwriter.